Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 27, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It's another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad. Let's get into it, man. We're going to talk about some college football. Obviously, the college football season is winding down as of right now. Only two more games to go, two more weekends to go. This weekend, next weekend, and that'll be it for college football regular season. Games to go, two more weekends to go. This weekend, next. So let's get into the recap of what happened last week in the college football landscape of things. And right now, when you look at it, man, Georgia won a big game against Tennessee last week at home in Athens, Georgia. That was a big win for them to keep their postseason hopes alive. And they just won a big game. That was the best game of the week, like the most important game of the week, like the game of the week perspective. That it was that game between Georgia and Tennessee, and Georgia was able to win. And Georgia had to come from behind. They was trailing 10-0 in this game. They was able to bounce back and win the game. They were home and away. And now they keep their hopes alive. Now it's got no winning remaining games on their schedule and playing the conference championship. Obviously, that's what it's all about. So see what happens with that. So that was the main thing that stood out last week is Georgia beating Tennessee. That was a big game. Not that many upsets. I mean, I think BYU got picked off. They got also Kansas last week. Colorado continues to play extremely well. They continue to play at a high level as a team that can definitely win the Big 12 conference. But they blew out Utah last week, 49-24. Look like Travis Hunter may be the front runners for the Heisman. It's a possibility. Um, can't count Shador Sanders, can't count Ken Ward, but looks like Travis Hunter may win the Heisman. We'll see. So that was an impressive win by Colorado. They're looking good right now, as far as that's concerned. That was a big time performance by them at home against Utah. So they've been able to adjust to the new conference and play well. So see if they continue to keep that momentum going moving forward as they try to get into postseason play. So that's what's on the docket. Oregon almost lost to University of Wisconsin. They barely won that game 16-13. They could have got picked off and lost, but they were able to hang on, went on the road 16-13, and preserve their undefeated season. So again, when you try to go undefeated, you're definitely gonna play some close games every now and then. They did win a close game earlier this year against Ohio State 32-31. So sometimes you're gonna play some close games and try to be undefeated, observe an undefeated season in college football. You don't play a close one. Give credit to University of Wisconsin for hanging in there, persevering, making sure they gave them a hard time, give them no run for their money. So that was an interesting victory for Oregon to handle their business and win that matchup, get the job done, and win by score 16-13. So some of the games I just talked about: Georgia, Tennessee, Oregon, Wisconsin. That was a game that is interesting. Obviously, Colorado beating Utah. There wasn't that many upsets early in the day. Texas beat Arkansas 20-10. Ohio State took care of business and beat Northwestern 31-7. Clemson won a big game against Pittsburgh 24-20. Northern continued to keep things rolling. They won 35-14 over Virginia. No surprise there. But Louisville, they lost to Stanford 38-35 on the road. And Florida upset number 22 LSU 27-16. So that was an upset. Now ranked teams in the SEC, South Carolina beat Missouri in a shootout 34-30. But again, Georgia won 31-17 that matchup. And Kansas upset BYU and BYU 17-13. And Washington State lost. They got upset. So some of the games that we played last week. Now we fast forward to this week. When we look at college football, obviously the best game of the week is the top five matchup. This is a big litmus test for the University of Indiana Hoosiers. Can they get it done against Ohio State? They number two versus number five. Number two, Ohio State against number five, Indiana. Indiana having a great season, outstanding season, but now they're going to be truly tested and see how good they really are as a top five team going into the horseshoe against Ohio State this week. Again, Tennessee Georgia game. Tennessee had a 10 lead, but they was able to overcome that Georgia. Since he had a 17-14 lead, but he was taken over by Georgia. They was able to do their thing. And Carson Beck finally had a great game. Played very well. 25 out of 40 for 347 yards, two touchdowns. So that was a big time performance. And he hadn't been playing well as of late. And this is like his look at his stats for this season. Carson Beck. 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions for the senior. Um, Solid, but not Heisman like numbers that's gonna win the Heisman. I don't think he's gonna win it. So he's definitely out of that ranking. Maybe go to New York. We'll see. Okay. Again, Ohio State, Indiana. That's the best game this week. Number five versus number two. See what happens. See how good this Indiana Hoosiers team is. It's very important. One of the more important games in the history of Indiana in a long, long time. So we're gonna see how good they are. They're undefeated, 10-0. Ohio State obviously 9-1 because they lost in the nail biter to Oregon 32-31. So it's gonna be a fantastic matchup. So if Indiana can beat Ohio State, they'll be in the Big Ten championship game. But if Ohio State wins out, it returns to the conference championship game for the first time since the pandemic shortened 2020 season. Get a rematch with the Oregon Ducks. But when you look at this matchup, Ohio State versus Indiana, is that Ohio State has a 28-game winning streak against Indiana dating back to 1991. That's the longest active winning streak over one team over another in Division One football. So they won 28 in a row. Can they snap that streak, that losing streak? Indiana 28-game losing streak against Ohio State. So that's a very fascinating stat. So that makes this game even more intriguing, more worth watching. See if they snap the long losing streak. So we'll see. Other games to keep your eyes on: Miami, obviously after losing a couple of weeks ago to Georgia Tech, giving up 271 yards on the ground to Georgia Tech. It's been a lot well documented, rightfully so, about this Miami defense. How good is this Miami defense? It's not as good. They have not played well of late. They're getting up big plays on the offensive end. As far as can't stop the run, can't stop the pass, getting up big plays. So from a scoring defense standpoint, they have not been good. Can they rectify that coming off a bye week and do some better things on the defensive end and try to pitch a shutout, something like that. Hold Wake Forest to like 3 points to 10 points. Anything that can get them like they're playing at a championship level, at least at a championship level from that perspective, from a defensive standpoint. They gotta do that. They gotta do that. They cannot rely so much on Cam Ward and this offense, and it showed that sometimes Cam Ward's not gonna pull it out. Even though he played pretty good against Georgia Tech, but it didn't happen. So we're gonna see how good Miami's defense is gonna play right now. They number 8 right now, so we're gonna see how they do. They favor about 24.5 points. Now they should blow this team out. They should play well on the offensive end as well as defensive end. But Wake Forest is 4-6 as a team, 2-4 in the conference. So what's at stake is Miami will assure itself a berth in the ACC championship game, remain on track for the college football playoff spot. They beat Wake Forest in the following week, Syracuse. So this is the final home game for Miami. They have not lost at home this year. Uh, Meanwhile, Wake Forest is playing for something. They either beat Miami and Duke this week to finish the season, 6-6 to be bowl eligible. So they playing for something. So key to this matchup, keep your eyes on the passing game of Miami against the secondary of Wake Forest. Demon Deacons have not been great against the passing game. They've allowed 69.7% of the passes to be completed against opposing quarterbacks. For Wake Forest, keep your eyes on wide receiver Taylor Morin, who will be playing his 60th game for the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. He's 106 yards receiving for 3,000 yards receiving in his career. Kicker Andres Barragales, he play at home for the last time, the final time, on a home playoff game. He's 169 for 170 on extra points, 69 for 81 on field goals as the Hurricanes. This be his final game. And it's senior day. This is gonna be the last game, obviously for Barrel Gallus and also for Cam Ward. He's gonna be going in the draft, so he's a senior, so this is it for him. Cam Ward. He has thrown for 151 touchdowns in college for Shia Kuma, Houston quarterback Case Keenum, Division One FBS, FCS, record of 155 and 11 shy of John Matocha's all division record 162. Matocha played at Division Two Colorado School of Mines since the last time these teams played in 2013. 50 different players have thrown a pass. 142 different players have had at least one carry, and 170 different players have had at least one reception for either the Hurricanes or the Demon Deacons. And Wake Forest have won three of the first four games in the series. The last of those wins came in 1944. But since the end of World War II, the Hurricanes are 7-0 in the series. Hurricanes have a chance for their second perfect home record in the last 22 regular seasons. They were 7-0 at home in 2017 and lost the Orange Bowl on their home field. So see what happens with that. With another loss, Wake Forest will be assured of back-to-back sub 500 records for the first time since 2014, 2015. Coach Dave Lord closed his first 2 years at the school. So keep your eyes on that. Your Hurricanes are favored by 24.5 points. That's one of the games to keep your eyes on. It's not a great game, but it's a big game for Miami to not lose at all. Keep their season, going strong. Um, Ole Miss play against the Gators. That's an interesting game to see if Ole Miss keep their playoffs hopes alive. SMU plays Virginia on the road. Georgia is at home against UMass. Tennessee, they play UTEP. Texas play at home against Kentucky. Penn State travels to Minnesota. That's a big game for Penn State. They're number 4 in the ranking. In Colorado, they play at Kansas, 16, ranked number 16. Another good game too is Army against Notre Dame. Army's ranked number 19 in the country against Notre Dame. It was 9-1. This is a good game right here. Army's undefeated still, 9-0. This game is going to be played at Yankee Stadium. Army versus Notre Dame. See if they can pull off an upset. So if Notre Dame is favored by 14.5 points, Notre Dame leads the series 39-8-4. They have won 8 straight. Notre Dame, they're playing extremely well. They're chasing down a playoff berth. Army has won 13 straight. That's the longest current streak in the nation. It's one of the 3 remaining unbeaten teams in the FBS. Black Knights have already clinched a spot in the American Athletic Conference Championship game on December 6th against number 20 Tulane. The playoff rankings could come into play as a tiebreaker to determine who goes to the game. So Army's trying to knock off a team ranked in the top 10, the AP poll, the first time since beating number 9 Penn State in 1963. The Black Knights haven't defeated the Irish in Notre Dame though since 1958, the last time both teams were ranked entering their matchup. So keep your eyes on Army, who has just lost 2 fumbles. They take care of football very well. They lead the nation in turnovers lost. They only lost 2 fumbles. We look at Notre Dame, they tops the nation with 25 turnovers. Again, it's 5th in fumbles recovered. The Irish recovered 5 fumbles and an interception on October 26th, the rout against Navy, which, like the Black Knights, relies on controlling the ball and play largely mistake-free football or going undefeated to that matchup. Players to watch is Bryson Daly, quarterback of Army. He's rushed for 21 touchdowns, tied for second in the nation. Kanye Udo has 9. Udo has 856 yards passing. Rushing is on pace to join Daly, 1,062 yards as a 1,000-yard rusher with 5 games left. Army has had two players rush for more 1,000 yards in the season only twice, 1984 and 2012. Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame has rushed for a touchdown in 10 straight games. That's tied for the second longest streak in Notre Dame history. He can match the record set by Wayne Bullock in 1973, 1974, with one this week. Teams are meeting for the 24th time at Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame leads the series there at 15-5-3, winning a 27-3 victory in 2010 in the first football game in the current stadium that opened a year earlier. Notre Dame has allowed 14 or fewer points in five straight games, so they're playing very well on defense. That's what it's about. When you look at Notre Dame, this is how you're supposed to play going into the postseason, experience they can get there. They're only allowing 11.4 points per game for the season. They rank third in the nation in scoring defense. This is what it's about. You got to play well on offense and defense. That's what Notre Dame has done. And Army's played well as well. They only given up 10.3 points a game, so this could be a low scoring game. Also, Army is tops in the nation with 334.9 rushing yards per game. Black Knights have won every game this season by double digits, hadn't even trailed until falling behind North Texas 2 weeks ago in a 14-3 victory. So keep your eyes on that game. That's definitely a good game there to watch. And also, Oklahoma versus Alabama. Um, Oklahoma definitely struggled since they've been in the college football realignment perspective, being in the SEC. But can they solve this season with a big win against Oklahoma? Oklahoma beating Alabama. Can they solve this season with a big win against Alabama at home? That's a true road test for Alabama Crimson Tide. That's basically it. That's it for the college football landscape. Let's get into some NBA and do some NFL um, talk, and then get into bringing three figures that recently passed away. Gerry Faust, coach of Notre Dame, and head football coach John Robinson. Also this week, Butterbean Love, Bob Love, passed away this week. Favorite Chicago Bulls talk about him. But right now, you look at the NBA. This week, finally, Cleveland lost. They was able to get beat by the Boston Celtics. It was a statement game. They fell short, but they showed something. Even though they were down by 21 points, they was able to come back, make it a game. But it was too much. The Celtics, they shot a lot of threes. That's what they do. They ended their 15-game win streak. The Celtics, they shot a lot of threes. That's what they do. They ended their 15-game win streak. So they won 120 to 117. So that was a big win for the Celtics, a statement win in the regular season. Jason Tatum had 33 points, having 12 rebounds to go with that. They won at home. Donovan Mitchell had 35 points in the losing cause, but they showed something. Even though they were down 21 points in this game, they was able to still find a way to win. And again, the Celtics shot 53.7% from three. They took 41 threes. They made 22 of them. So when they hitting all them threes, man, they tough to deal with. Jason Tatum was 6 for 10 from three. Al Horford was 4 for 5, 3 for 4 for the Holiday. The whole starting lineup was in double figures. Tatum, Horford, Holiday, White, and Brown. And they had a pitcher coming off the bench. He had three pointers that was hit. And that's what they do. They shoot a lot of threes. But very impressive performance by the Cavaliers, even though they were down by a lot. You know, they were still able to bounce back, make this a game, make it a close game, especially in the fourth quarter. So they showed something, even though they lost the game. They was able to still show what they made of, despite being down by so many points, 71 to 50, with 10:29 to go in the third quarter. That was sweat. They went on a run, not so much in the third quarter, but once they got to the third quarter, they got back into it. The third quarter, yeah, definitely. Third quarter, they only trailed by 5, but then the fourth quarter is very close. Very close game. Very close. They had their chances. The closest was they were down 99-97. They were only down by 2 points, and they were still able to hang in there. But it fell short, and they lose by 3 points. And they had their first loss of the season. That was one of like the big major games this week in the NBA. Struggles continue for Philadelphia. They go 2-12 as Paul George got hurt. He left the game with an injury. Again, the 3-point shot was in effect with this Memphis Grizzlies team. They hit 19 3-point shots. Joe Embiid played pretty good. He had 35 points, but in losing calls. Again, they missing Tyrese Maxey. Oh, Tyrese Maxey was back. Well, he did play. Okay, Maxey was back. So they had Embiid, Maxey, and George in the lineup, and they still lose. Maxey had 8 points, but Joe Embiid had 35 points. Only 2 points for George, but he got hurt. So they fall to 2-12. So at least those three guys came back. So it got to be the first time the three guys was back in the lineup. And that's what it's about. They want to get back to being a playoff team, being contention. They gotta have those three guys in the lineup. So it was good to see, even though they lost. And obviously, George got hurt. Every kind of injury that was. Let's see. What's the status moving forward? Okay. 76 announced today that there was an MRI. George's left knee revealed no structural damage, but he will be out Friday's game. So, versus the Nets and Sunday's game with the Clippers. So, again, the injuries continue for this team. When you look at this Philadelphia 76 team, the guy had the key guys on the floor in order to compete. So at least it was refreshing to see Maxi, George, and be on the court, the same court. So see how that's be sustainable. Unfortunately, they're not gonna have George for the next couple of games due to the knee injury that he's dealing with. At least there's no structural damage. Good news right there. All right, let's look at the standings. Obviously, Cleveland's 16-1, still the best record in basketball. Boston's 12-3. Knicks are 9-6. Orlando's 9-7. But after that, from the fifth place team all the way to the last team, Philadelphia basketball team, they 2-12. Milwaukee's playing pretty good. They definitely getting back into the swing of things as far as winning. They're 6-9. And how about those Pistons? No, they're 7-9. This is a team that only won 14 games a year ago under Mighty Williams. They got JD Bickerstaff, and now they're 7-9. So they definitely gonna go past that 14 uh, win mark. So they already got 7 wins already. So they way ahead of schedule, which is no good. It's never good to be like laughing stock. So they got 7 wins, 7-9. Not a playoff team, but at least they're playing better than they did last year. And you couldn't get any worse. They ain't sixth place. Detroit Pistons. In the Western Conference, Golden State is first. Amazing how they still continue to play well. They're 11-3. OKC is 12-4. The Lakers are 10-4. Houston is 11-5. Denver is 8-5. Minnesota is 8-6. Very tight in the West from the first place team all the way to the 11th place team in Dallas. Everybody got a winning record. But what's fascinating is the Pistons have more wins than they at this point than they had last year around this time. So at least they're headed in the right direction compared to last year to this year. They got 7 wins, nine losses. Last year they were 14 and 68. Now they're 7 and 9, so they're on pace to at least win maybe 25, 30 games, maybe possibly. We'll see. They could remain in contention for a playoff, maybe win more, be more surprised, maybe the most surprising team in the league. So that's it for that with the NBA. Look at the stats, team stats, and personal stats. Take a look. Speaking of Detroit, did they win tonight? They played Charlotte tonight. Okay, we got 109, 109. We're in overtime against the Hornets. So the Pistons try to win the eighth game of the season. Going to overtime. And Cade Cunningham is playing very well. Melo Ball is playing well. Cade Cunningham has 27 points. But Melo Ball has 35 points as they go into overtime. Minnesota is tied with Toronto 75-75. And Utah is beating San Antonio 69-57. Yeah, so George, he has a bone bruise. So he's going to be out at least 2 games. Middleton, he's cleared to play, but still ramping up on two reports. They definitely need him to come back. He's not physically ready yet. With double ankle surgeries in the whole season. So see what happens with that. All right. Let's get into some NFL talk. Right now, we got a game going on right now in week 12. This is a surprise. The Cleveland Browns are leading 10-3. Interesting. 10-3. Over the Steelers in the second quarter with 21 seconds to go. So this is a game that you cannot take for granted, man. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, I know this is like a trap game. They won a big game last week against Baltimore. Give them credit, 18-16 defensive battle. You expect that between the Ravens and the Steelers. 6 field goals was kicked, no touchdowns were scored by the Steelers, but they was able to hang on and win. But right now, you got to fast forward to this week. They down 13-3. They got the ball at their own 49-yard line, 3rd and 10. But right now they're losing 10-3. Wilson's playing pretty good, 11-13, 147 yards, but they are losing 10-3. So 2-8 Browns team. Nick Chubb scored a touchdown, 2 yards out. Dustin Hopkins kicked the field goal. Now it's at halftime, 10-3 in favor of the Browns over the Steelers. So Steelers can't afford to stumble, man. They need to stay ahead of the Ravens. They 8-2 right now. They want to get a good cushion. So see what they do in the second half. Last week, yeah, the Steelers won last week, one of the big games last week, 18-16. And again, they played very well against Lamar Jackson. I think he's now lifetime 1-4. Doesn't play well, gets sacked a lot. So there's like that's the kryptonite for Lamar Jackson is the Pittsburgh Steelers. He doesn't play well against them. Just don't play well against them. And when you have that, that's not a good thing. Had the NFL's top ranked offense going into this game, and you only get muster 16 points. But the thing is, the Steelers just know how to beat the Ravens again because they play well against Jackson. In his lifetime, he's 1-4, and plus the Steelers have won 7 of the last 8 games against Baltimore. And Baltimore played terrible. I mean, they're bad with the penalties, 12 penalties, turn the ball 3 times. I mean, you just don't play well against the Steelers. They one of the few teams, the Steelers, that knows how to shut down Jackson. You know, he has 5 passes for touchdowns with 8 interceptions. So he does not play well against this team on the offensive end against the Steelers team. So the Detroit Lions, man, you gotta give them credit. They're the best team in the league, man. They're 9-1 right now. They blew out Jacksonville, took care of the business winning 52-6. They got so many weapons on at their disposal. Four touchdown passes by Jared Goff, 412 yards passing, 24 to 29. St. Brown had a big game, 11 catches, 161 yards. Montgomery had two touchdown rushing touchdowns. This team is just the best team. They play next week, next Thursday, obviously against Chicago and Thanksgiving. But this is the best team in the league. They should win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, the NFC is down this year. When you look at San Francisco, they lost last week to Seattle. The Dallas Cowboys are down. Those supposed to be two of the teams that's supposed to compete for a Super Bowl, or at least for a championship out of the NFC, and they've been disappointed. So I don't see why Detroit cannot get out of this NFC. Rams beat New England 2022. The Jets seem to underachieve. They lose 2027 to the Colts. Green Bay beat Chicago once again for 11th straight time, about 20-19 in Soldier Field. So it's a big win for them, especially against their arch rivals. As a Carl Brooks field goal block took place at the buzzer as they try to attempt to win the Bears, and now they 4-6. The Packers are 7-3 on the season. That's 11 straight wins for the Packers against the Bears. This story rivalry. Yeah, Seattle, man, that give them credit, but that's a bad loss for San Francisco. I mean, they obviously didn't have George Kittle in the lineup. I think Bosa got hurt, so with him being on the sideline, he was still able to go down the field. Maybe they were tired, obviously, but this offense is not good enough to get it done. They only put up 17 points. So give credit to Geno Smith. He had an 80-yard drive, putting a 13-yard touchdown scramble. 12 seconds to go. It was a big game for both teams. Now Seattle with this win is now 5-5, and now 49ers are 5-5. So there's something going on with this team, with the San Francisco. It just don't look good. Super Bowl hangover. Yes, they got injuries. Everybody got injuries, but they just not the same team. Defensively, they're not the same team. There's something going on. Because when you have Arizona Cardinals, it shows the parity that's in this league. When you have Arizona Cardinals leading the division at 6-4 record, who would thought that? You know what I'm saying them being in first place. It's just hard to believe to see that. You know what I'm saying? To see a situation with that happening, being in first place. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. Crazy to see that. Give credit to Arizona. They playing well. Yes, they snuck up on people and they look good, but at the same time, it's just a shocker to see the 49ers not play well. The team that was in the Super Bowl last year. But I think what hurt them was Bosa being out. He had some type of injury, something like that. He was on the sideline. He got hurt. He had a hip and oblique injury. And again, George Kittle missed the game with a hamstring injury, so they're not healthy. So now the 49ers got to play a tough game against Green Bay at Lambeau Field. So, and the Seahawks play Arizona. That's a big game. So those two games to keep your eyes on. And obviously, no surprise that Houston beat Dallas, and the Chargers are playing good. They beat Cincinnati, but Buffalo. That was the biggest game of the day. Again, Buffalo knows how to beat Kansas City in the regular season, but you still got to show they can do it in the postseason. That was a big win, winning 30-21. Big play of the game was Josh Allen going forward on 4th and 2, run for a 26-yard touchdown to seal the deal, put them up 30-21 with 2:17 to go. He definitely playing like an MVP, man. You look at Josh Allen; he's now 4-4, including players against the Chiefs. He's done well against Mahomes, but at the same time, Patrick Mahomes have ended Buffalo's playoff runs in 3 of the past 4 seasons, so he has to get over that hump to finally beat him in the postseason. Um, he definitely an MVP, Josh Allen. When you look at, they don't have Gabe Davis, they don't have Stephon Diggs, they don't have a star-studded, lineup of receivers and running backs. No problem. They still find a way to get it done. He's spreading the wealth. He's getting everybody involved in the offense, and there's no drop off. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely raising the level of play with his teammates. There's a guy, Amari Cooper, this year, but at the same time, during the season, they don't have any weapons. They don't have no star players outside of Josh Allen. I don't think Amari Cooper's a superstar. I mean, he's a good wide receiver. He's been around a long time, but James Cook's not a superstar. They still getting it done. So he's raising the level of play, Josh Allen, of his teammates. But they don't need the big name receivers to win. Now I got a lot of work to do. They 9-2. I think for the first time since 1992. Yeah, they won 6 in a row. Buffalo, obviously gonna win the AFC East title for the fifth straight time. But they 9-2 or better through 11 games for the sixth time in history in their franchise since 1992. But again, they got a long way to go. They got to win the Super Bowl. Simple as that. So these two teams may win again. And again, Buffalo has won 4 straight regular season meetings dating back to 2021. But what does it mean? Nothing. Because the Chiefs have won 3 straight playoff matchups, including last year, 27-24 in Buffalo. So it don't mean nothing unless they get it done in the postseason if they play each other. Simple. They got a lot of work to do, Buffalo, but that's impressive that they're 9-2 despite not having that much star power on the team. But give credit to also Buffalo Bills defense. They picked off Mahomes twice. They gave him 3 touchdowns. One gave 196 yards passing to Mahomes, 60 yards rushing. That was it. They held Kansas City to 78 yards rushing. DeAndre Hopkins didn't do that much. 3 catches for 29 yards. And Travis Kelsey didn't have a good game. 2 catches for 8 yards. So definitely shut him down. And then give credit to the offensive line of Buffalo. They didn't give up any sacks. No sacks. See how many sacks the Buffalo had. Yeah, Allen was a bit. Allen played well. 262 yards, ran for 55 yards and a touchdown. Again, Khalil Shakur, 8 catches, 70 yards. Not a big name guy. Curtis Samuel, 5 catches, 58 yards. Not a big game guy. Amari Cooper is getting good. He's been around for a long time, definitely. But I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I'm 30. He's 30 years old. No, he has a lot of catches in his career. That's the draft by Oakland. He has 698 receiving receptions. Excuse me, 698 receptions, 9,860, 63 touchdowns. Had a pretty good career. Mike Cooper, very good career. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 um 1,000 yard seasons. Maybe a Hall of Fame, maybe. Some of these numbers are pretty good. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 6 1,000 yard seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 1,000 yard receiving years. Maybe a Hall of Fame. Maybe good receiver. But again, great job by Josh Allen doing what he's doing without not that many dynamic players around him. Again, Buffalo got a lot of work to do. All right, so let's get to week 12. Look at the games that are playing today. And headlines, sad to see New England Patriots, Bob Kraft denied again of being in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, but he's not going to the Hall of Fame again. He's not going to get in. Now, see, Daniel Jones got benched. He's not going to be playing the rest of the season. Obviously, it's the end of an era for this Daniel Jones for the Giants because they put in Tommy DeVito to replace him. So obviously, the Giants going to go in the direction next year and draft a quarterback. That's what it looks like. Now look forward to these games. Let's look forward to the Week 12 games. See, not that many great games. Not that many. Only game that's interesting is San Francisco, Green Bay, and Arizona, Seattle, Philadelphia and the Rams, and Baltimore and the Chargers. You got two good games on prime time Sunday night football, Philadelphia Eagles against the Rams, and you got Monday night football, Baltimore Ravens against the Chargers. That's the Harbaugh brothers coaching outside of each other. So that's going to be fun to watch, and the teams on the field. But that's basically it. None of these games are great. The Giants and the Buccaneers are bad. KC, Carolina, that's a bad game. Cowboys and Washington, that's terrible. The Miami Dolphins and New England Patriots bad. Houston, Tennessee stinks. Indiana, Indianapolis Colts, Detroit. I think Detroit gonna win that game. Like two touchdowns. That should be a blowout. The Bears and the Minnesota Vikings, nope. Denver and the Raiders, no. The only four games that are good this week: San Francisco, Green Bay, Arizona, Seattle, Philadelphia and the Rams, and Chargers and Baltimore. The two night games, Sunday and Monday night, are good games. The only games that in the afternoon that's interesting is San Francisco, Green Bay, and Arizona, Seattle. That's basically it. So that's it. With the look at the NFL. All right, so let's get into 3.3 sports figures passed away recently. Let's get into that. Then I'll get into my honest day in sports history. Then close out the show for the day. Okay, we're gonna look at Gerry Faust. Recently passed away. Coach Notre Dame did his thing. Um, Recently passed away at age 89. Recently. Now he's known for coaching that Notre Dame team in '85. This is before Lou Holtz came, and that's when Miami ran up the score. People thought they would run up the score, winning 58-7 because it was the last game out. But Miami was trying to make a statement. They're trying to stay in contention of the national championship. They want to make a statement win, and they did it against Notre Dame that year. They won like 58-7, something like that. And that was Gerry Faust's last coaching game at that time. And best thing that stands out about that. As far as that's concerned. So he passed away recently, age 89. I think he was 89 years old when he passed. So let's look at his career. It's a big deal when you coach Notre Dame. He passed away on November 11th. That was last Monday, the 11th. He was a coach for Notre Dame for 1981 to 1985. Coached the University of Akron from 1986 to 1994. But he did great things as a high school football coach at Moeller High School in Cincinnati, Ohio. He had 178, 23 and 2 record from 1962 to 1980. He was a head coach at high school. So before he, coached in college football, he was coaching high school football. So that's where he was, truly great at. He wasn't so great at Notre Dame. In college he was 73, 79, and 4. He was 89 years old. That's when he was, very successful. Um, had 7 unbeaten seasons, 4 national prep titles, 5 Ohio State titles in his last 6 years. So he was a great high school coach. And that led to him coaching Notre Dame. but obviously things didn't go so well at that time. Now, his biggest game that he ever won, you say, was in 1981 when he beat LSU 27-9. And then, yeah, they were 5-6 that year, 1981. Yeah, the losing season, first losing season, 1963. So he's 30, 26-1 at Notre Dame. He never won more than 7 games that were contended for a national championship. Yeah, he lost 58-7 to Miami. That was his last game. Rest in peace to him. And then John Robinson passed away last week as well. Football coach John Robinson. He coached the USC Trojans. He coached guys like Ronnie Lott, Anthony Munoz. I mean, he coached Marcus Allen. He coached a lot of big time players when he was there. He had 2 stints at University of Southern California from 1976 to 1982 to 1993 to 1997. Then he was very successful as a Rams coach. Now, we look at coaches that coach well in college and he coached well in the pros. We always talk about Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, he won 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys, won that championship with the University of Miami. Pete Carroll won a couple of national championships, some national championships. Um, the University of USC and won a Super Bowl as well. When he's with Seattle. When we look at Coach Robinson, who's elected to the College Football Hall of Fame, he had very good success. His USC Trojan teams, won 4 Rose Bowls. They captured the share of the national championship in 1978. Coached from 1983 to 1991. The Rams, very successful. When he was 89 years old, he passed away. Very successful at the college level. Won the Pac-8 and Pac-10 title, 5 times? 132, 77 in college, 75 and 68 in the NFL, 4-6 in the postseason. Well, he had a pretty good career, coaching career. I mean, because he took the Rams teams twice to the NFC Championship game. Led the franchise 6 of his 7 first seasons to the playoffs, twice to the NFC Championship game. That's not bad. Now, they ran into 2 great teams, 85 Bears and 85 and 89 San Francisco 49ers. There's no great teams. They played in the AFC West at the time, dealing with the 49ers. So, obviously, coached Eric Dickerson. Obviously, coached a team that had explosive offense with Jim Everett and Flipper Anderson, Willie Flipper Anderson, and Henry Elliott. Pretty good defense led by Kevin Green. They can never get over that hump. He had a very successful career, very successful career. So rest in peace to him. And then he passed away last Monday as well. And then this week, Bob Love, Butterbean Love, the Chicago Bulls, he passed away this week on the 18th. Definitely a founding father of the Chicago Bulls in terms of what he did for the Bulls before Michael Jordan. He was one that was, getting it done with Norm Van Leer, Jerry Sloan, who ended up coaching the Utah Jazz, and plus, Chicago Bulls. They was in the Western Conference once upon a time. No, they wasn't always in the Eastern Conference. Um, he's a forward who's versatile, who can shoot with his left or right hand. He's an ambassador, Bulls director of community affairs and goodwill ambassador. His nickname Butterbean came back because he loved legume. He loved, eating beans. Legume, called Butterbean. That's boyhood food they like to eat.
butter beans. He was 81 years old when he passed. But he played with the Milwaukee Bucks, played with the Warriors, but he made his mark overall as a Chicago Bull, three-time All-Star, All Defensive Team three times, second team All NBA. His jersey was retired, so he definitely was a good player. Definitely an outstanding player. Played for Dick Miles Bulls. I mean, they were very, very good. Yeah, so if you talk about Michael Jordan and the Bulls, Scottie Pippen, but before them, you gotta give just due to what came before them. Jerry Sloan, he has his jersey retired for the first time ever. And then Bob Love had his jersey retired, so it shows you the type of impact that he made on the game of basketball and for that franchise. I'm saying that's the thing that stands out. So you gotta take that into account. So rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Jerry Faust. Rest in peace to John Robinson and Bob Love. Right, finally, let's get into on this day in sports history for November 21st. I'm not gonna go over everything that happened on this day. There's some of the events that stands out. So let's get into it. Okay, on this day, November 21st, 1902, baseball's Philadelphia Athletics and Phillies formed pro football teams, joining Pitt Stars in first attempt at National Football League. Red Grange, 1925, November 21st, played his final University of Illinois game, signs with the Chicago Bears. On November 21st, 1934, New York Yankees buy Joe DiMaggio from San Francisco Seals. 1949, on November 21st, Bill Veeck sold Major League Baseball Cleveland Indians for $22 million to fund his divorce settlement. 1952, November 21st, Dodgers pitcher Joe Black won National Rookie of the Year, National League Rookie of the Year. Don Newcomb won National League MVP, first ever Cy Young Award in 1956. 1970, the Knicks played their first game against Cleveland Cavaliers. Knicks won 102 to 94 at Madison Square Garden. 1971, the New York Rangers scored an NHL record 8 goals in one period. Pete Rose in 1973 won the MVP in the National League on his day, November 21st. Uh, Rookie of the Year went to first baseman Eddie Murray in the American League, 1977. 1998, in the Auburn Alabama rivalry, the Iron Bowl, 63rd annual at the time, 1998. Alabama beat Auburn 31-17 in Birmingham. That's it. I think that's it. All right, so that's some of the events that took place on this day, on November 21st. So that's it, man. My time is up. Hope you enjoyed the 27th episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. Programming note, I will be on next Thursday, even though it's Thanksgiving. We're going to do a special episode. It'll be the 20th episode next Thursday night on Thanksgiving at 9 o'clock p.m. Talk about what took place in the NFL, go over the three games and stuff like that. Obviously, the usual NFL recap, NBA, college football, stuff like that, to stay afloat with the sports landscape of things. So I'll be on next Thursday on Thanksgiving. So that's a great, great treat to do a show on that day. So look forward to it, stuff like that. Also, check out the recent article that I wrote for the Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles website. Check it out, e5280sports.com. I wrote an article that's up there right now. You can check it out. Very interesting article. I talked about obviously college football, NBA, college football season, recapping all stuff. I did a preview of the college basketball season. I talked about that. And just a review of the games that was played. Did I include that in the article? I'm looking at it now. No, I didn't. I just did like a brief preview of what to look for with the teams trying to knock off Connecticut, trying to make it their third straight national championship. So a lot of info in there. You can check out the website. Talk about the NBA, NFL, and also I did a classic throwback, some classic game of the week, as far as like NFL, classic throwback game of the week. The 49ers versus the Cowboys, November 13th, 1994. That was a definitely important game in that rivalry because the Cowboys were the dominant team, won two Super Bowls in a row, and they had to face a 49ers team that had reloaded to beat them, led by Deion Sanders, as a free agent. So yeah, so check that out. So it's a great article. Look forward look for the new article that's gonna be coming real soon, next week. So that's it for today's show. I'll be back on next Thursday night on Thanksgiving. Man, I will be doing the episode on Thanksgiving. So I'll be talking about the usual stuff in sports. So that's it for today's show. Until then, talk to you next Thursday night on Thanksgiving at 9 o'clock p.m. for Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Until then, talk to you next time, next Thursday night on Thanksgiving, live on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyle. Have a good night.